Hello, it is Wednesday afternoon. It's a dreary, rainy day here in Pennsylvania. And it's actually getting foggy out too. Good day to stay in. I haven't done much of anything except put laundry away and play around on, not so much Facebook, a little bit, but I'm kind of trying to make a transition to get off of Facebook and onto MeWe, simply because of all the stuff going on with the security and privacy issues on Facebook and them using these algorithms, and I swear it picks up everything you say, because there's stuff that me and my husband will sit around talking about, and the next time I get on Facebook, there's something on there about what we were talking about. Like, for instance, and it's stuff I don't even post about. I mean, it's not even posting about it. We were talking about, he just happened to mention, if there was one country that he would like to visit, would be Australia. And, it was just a brief little conversation, just a mention. And the next time we got on Facebook, there was advertising for Australia. Yeah, kind of creepy. And so they are using the microphone on your devices. So I don't really like that, and the ads are getting ridiculous. It's just kind of creeping me out. But there's a lot of groups, not maybe a lot, but there's a few groups on Facebook, groups and pages that I really don't want to leave. But I'm leaning towards that way eventually, but in the meantime, I'm just not going to do a whole lot as far as my own personal Facebook page. And I really like MeWe. If you've never heard of it, type in a search and go check it out. You can access it on your computer or on your phone, whichever. They have a nice app, and it's kind of set up. It has a lot of the options that Facebook does. It's set up a bit different, so you got to kind of click around and play around to find things a little bit, but it's all about, there's no tracking, there's no algorithms, and there's no ads. Nothing. It is just straightforward, your Facebook page with your friends and their posts and groups and pages that you can join. And I really like it. The more I just joined it yesterday, but I've been playing around with it so much that the more I am on there, the more I really like it. I love the idea that they don't track or discriminate or target and all that. I really like that. So, I know, Google and, YouTube, which is owned by Google, they probably do the same things, but I don't see how to get out of that necessarily, but I'm sure there's software or other browsers or something you can do to keep them from doing that. But one step at a time, in this computer age we're in, everybody knows everybody's business. It's incredible. I have a love-hate relationship with it, But anyhow, that's one thing that I'm changing in my life. And I got a new do. Not really a new do. It's the same do, except I got it trimmed. So the bangs are a little shorter than what I probably should have had, but they're not too bad. And they'll grow out. They get they get pretty sick. She thinned them out too, so. And then I use my flat iron, yes, a flat iron, to get my hair to kind of curl under more. It works better than a curling iron. I gave up on the curling iron, but the flat iron is, and it smooths it out, and I'm sure there's other funky things you can do with a flat iron besides make your hair straight. Anyways, what else? The keto diet's going well, although my body's been going bonkers. Last week I was visited by the Whoosh Fairy, where it seemed like I lost almost 5 pounds overnight. I was like, wow, this is cool. But then I made the mistake of weighing myself again a day or two later, and it was all back. I'm like, what? And then it whooshed again Monday. I didn't weigh myself again, and then it whooshed again Monday. Lost that what came back. And then I made a mistake of weighing myself today, and it all came back again. So it's like major, like it's almost like a tide going in and out and out every few days. So I'm thinking it's water coming and going, you know, depending on what I'm eating or whatever. I gotta figure it out. I'm gonna look some stuff up online and try to figure out this mystery. But I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling the best I have ever felt in a long time. I feel like my body is like healing from the inside, and it's got my hormones calm, and I don't have the ridiculous cravings. I'm not grazing throughout the day. I feel really good at 2 meals a day and doing the intermittent fasting for 15, 16 hours. I typically eat breakfast at around 9ish and dinner at around 5ish. And that's my eating window. Once in a great while, I will snack, but it's always with something more fatty and no carbs, maybe a little bit of protein. But I'm playing with my macros. You know, my carbs are always really low. I never go over 25. Usually I'm like under 20. And that's total carbs usually. But I kind of do the net carbs, but I keep an eye on the total carbs, you know. I don't want to get ridiculous and eat, you know, I mean, there's only so far you can go with that, I think. You know, you can't have 100 grams of carbs and 80 of that fiber or whatever, you know, and be down to net carbs of 20. It's just, you know, I don't go overboard. I keep pretty close tabs on it. I'm trying to get my protein fat ratio tweaked, because I know excess protein causes an insulin spike, which in turn creates more fat on your body. So I want to avoid that. And I don't want to go overboard on the fat, but I don't want to be under either. So, you know, everybody is different of their tolerances. So I'm trying to figure that all out. And I think that's why my body's been fluctuating so much, because I've been experimenting. And I need to stick with something for like a solid week instead of every few days, switching it up. I don't know. But other than that, I'm feeling really good. And that's the main thing, that it be healthy. And Ken's doing really well too. He hasn't lost a ton, but he's following it a little looser than I am. He is not at the point to give up his milk, and that's about the only thing that he doesn't want to give up is milk. And I can, that's okay. There's worse things he could, you know, eat, but he's given up his peanut M&Ms. That's huge, to give up peanut M&Ms. I never thought I'd see the day. He has not touched one. And he hasn't had any pasta, but that's simply because I don't make it. It's there on the shelf, but I don't put it in anything. And, you know, bread, we have some bread in the freezer still. That's something I haven't, and it's low sugar, low carb type bread, but if I start eating that stuff, I'll binge, and I don't want that to happen. As long as I don't have it, I'm fine. But, you know, there's certain triggers. But I have been I did make some biscuits and low carb pizza and, the keto chocolate chip cookies. Hold on, I'm gonna go show you those. Hold on, if I can get this to pause. Okay, I'm back. I was a busy bee in the kitchen yesterday. I swear, all day long into the evening, I was cooking, baking, and cleaning up all that time. It was, and for what, you know, and then I'm done. I'm like, really? Seems like I should have like enough to feed an army. But I'm going to show you the 3 things I made yesterday. I'll start off with the pizza. It's mostly a cheese crust pizza. Whoops, that's not it. Oh, wait a minute. Where'd the pizza go? I had the pizza. Hold on again. Okay. So organized. Okay, this is, I got them in small pieces. It doesn't make a huge, you know, when you think pizza, you think of the huge thing. This is, bigger than a personal pan pizza, and it's not perfectly round or square. I don't know if anybody can make it that way, but it's kind of a rough looking thing. But anyhow, I got it in slices, and this is what it looks like. It looks pretty much like regular pizza, except it's, I can't remember what all's in it, but mostly cheese crust. And I put a little bit of, for a topping on it, I put a real thin layer of tomato paste, spread it out really thin, because I didn't want a lot of carbs. Then some pepperoni and some mozzarella cheese. I didn't want to pile too much on it because, excuse me, it's my first time making it, and I didn't know how well it would hold up and melt down, and I didn't want all the toppings falling off, so I just stuck to pepperoni and cheese, and it worked out well. And I think Ken will like that. I put that in his box. Next thing I made, it's my own concoction. They're tuna burgers or tuna patties. Basically, see, per each can of tuna, 1 egg, some mayonnaise, and some Parmesan cheese. You just kind of, I don't really have measurements for it other than the 1 egg in it. You don't want it runny, but you don't want it super thick. So you just kind of mix it up, and if it looks like it's you know, a nice thickness, then you put it in the pan, fry pan. It's a hot fry pan with a little bit of oil or something to keep it from sticking, and let it cook until you see the edges brown, kind of like a pancake. It takes several minutes, and then you flip it over and do that. And then you could even add a slice of cheese on top, melted, if you wanted to. And then I made these drop biscuits. And I should have I followed the directions to a T as far as what's in it, but they said to put it in a muffin tin, and I should have, because they kind of, I didn't put them in the muffin tin because I didn't want them too thick, because I wanted to use it for like breakfast sandwiches and stuff. So I just used a scooper and put it on a baking sheet and baked it that way, but then, and they spread out, but then they get thin and it's hard to cut them in half. But I did it. I was just very careful. But here's the drop biscuits. They might not, dropping crumbs, so I'm eating them. But as you see, they're not too bad looking. They kind of look like a, biscuit. And Ken loved it this morning. I toasted one up for him and put butter in between, and he loved it. So, and I had one last night. I was taste testing last night too. Maybe that's why I gained a couple pounds. But I had one of those biscuits. There's only like 2 net carbs in it. And I really liked it, especially with the butter on it. Okay, here is the finale. Keto chocolate chip cookies. These are so good. They look a little different. They look kind of the same as a regular cookie, but you can tell there's almond flour. That's what you use. You can use coconut flour if you have a nut allergy. You just use like half the amount, but it's keto chocolate chip cookie on Pinterest. If I ever figure out how to add links on here, I will. But oh, they are so good. They are so good. I let Ken taste test one this morning. So I split a cookie with him this morning at breakfast time, and he liked them. And they taste almost as good as a regular chocolate chip cookie. Very, very close. Extremely close. The best one that I have found so far. So I got some stuff on hand to keep us on point with this eating plan. And I plan on doing some other stuff today. I just don't know what. So, but anyhow, I'm over 16 minutes and I need to cut this off. And just wanted to give you an update what's going on in my life. And not too exciting, but there you have it. So we'll just catch you another time. Have a great day, everyone.